U.S. home ownership is at a 19-year low, according to the Census Bureau, and some are still wary of the housing market crash like we saw in 2008, while others blame the weak recovery. Now, for a deeper look at what's holding home buyers back, we joined by Dr. Jeff Tanenbaum, a licensed real estate salesperson with Halstead Property. Dr. Tanenbaum, good to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So, U.S. home buyers deterred from buying a home or unable to buy a home. What's going on here?
Well, I think that U.S. homebuyers in general can be subdivided. The new first-time homebuyer is probably very frustrated because the supply has been so low. Inventory across the country is probably lower than it's been in years. And with that, supply and demand, the fact is that many people are vying after the same properties, which forced the first-time homebuyer to throw their hands up and say, I can't compete, I am not able to pay this, and they're sitting out, which is very, very disappointing for many. Because I still maintain that the dream, the American dream of owning a home is as solid as it's always been, but the ability to move forward in this market is tough.
Well, the supply and demand issue is not only causing issues with home buying, it's also causing issue with home rentals, because according to the latest study at Harvard University, almost half of all renters are paying more than 30% of their income on rent, and that's double the percentage that we saw in 1960. So people can't afford to buy, they're struggling to rent. Why? Is this all down to supply and demand?
It's all basically supply and demand, the low inventory, forcing many out of the opportunity to make a purchase, has them look toward renting, and that's just, you know, fodder for a landlord, which forces his rent up.
Why do we have such low supply?
I think we have low supply because we had a very difficult winter, and I think that sellers probably watching the prices go up as themselves after I have sold,
well, we're talking
where do
about
I go?
one season. I mean, the supply problem has obviously been going on for a while. If we're having first-time home buyers at a 19-year low, can we really blame one bad winter on that?
No, we're not going to blame one bad winter. We're probably going to just blame the fact that we're coming off of a wave of difficulty in the home industry, if you will, 2008, 9, and 10. It started to get stronger and stronger, and strangely enough, I don't necessarily know why the inventory is historically low, but I can say that the repercussion or the pricing is so high that it has created a lot of trickle-down effect.
So what should be done by the U.S. government to firstly encourage first-time home buyers?
I feel the government has got to bring back the tax incentive of 2008, for starters.
Okay.
I had more honest first-time home buyers calling me when that tax incentive was available. You cannot imagine. Everyone wanted to close before, this was April 2008 to December 2008. They wanted to close before January. That $7,500 for many may not be considered a lot of money, but for a first-time home buyer, it covers their entire closing cost in a lot of instances. And many were very anxious to secure their home and close before the end of the year.
Well, mortgages have been very tough to get. Credit is tight. Should the government be relaxing lending standards? Should we have Fannie and Freddie? Should the government be doing more along those lines?
My fear is that before 2008, when we had the entire crash in real estate and the mortgage crisis, I remember that there were so many lenders who were giving so much more than necessary, 150%.
Right.
It put people who bought a home in jeopardy because they really couldn't afford their mortgage. And all we wound up with was foreclosure rates through the roof.
So if looser lending standards aren't the solution, as to your point, because it could bring about the housing crisis that we saw in 2008, short of a tax incentive, what can we do? Can the government be building houses for people themselves?
That could be one alternative, but I really feel, and I've had others discuss this with me as well, the government could very well give corporations tax benefits, tax breaks, tax incentives to create funds for helping their employees put money away targeted for a down payment. The biggest issue with many first-time home buyers is the down payment.
Right.
Once they find that they have the down payment and then they've understood the expenses involved in home ownership, whether it be single-family, condo, homeowner association fees, maintenance, common charge, et cetera, they can really understand if they can afford that 31% and less of their gross income per month going toward a home or their housing expense. I think that we can look toward corporations as a possible alternative to help their employees, first-time home buyers, with contributing a percentage equivalent to what the employees put in an effort to make the down payment.
A 401k type of plan for housing.
Exactly. That was brilliant. A 401k for housing is what I'm looking for.
We're going to have to leave it there, but basically tax incentives is your prescription. Thank you very much.